want me to stop, you should spill it. You wouldn't want your wives and children to feel this kind of pain, now would ya?
We're not gonna tell you anything. Hold on, wait. I'd really like to go with you, Herlock.
Yeah, me too.
And so would I. I want to feel alive again.
My ship will never reject any of you. If you're up for this, you can find me in the forest of rubble.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Get the hell out of here!
Losers.
You okay?
I'm a pathetic excuse for a man.
We rounded up a group of barflies and squeezed his location out of him. We're gonna find out just how tough this space pirate is now that he's out of a crew to help back him up. For the sake of the department, I'm gonna catch him.
I'm counting on you, Onizuka. You're our last hope. I've worked hard to get here, and they're gonna promote me to the main office in just 2 more years. The last thing I need right now is an appearance from Captain Herlock and his crew.
He's through. Zootic disease. For him to have carried us this far in that condition, if I'd known he was this sick just a little bit earlier. So, what'll we do now? If we don't get out of here soon, the police are gonna catch us.
We'll walk. My friend is waiting. We're almost there.
So talk to me, Alita. Do you think you're capable of capturing Herlock?
I'm afraid this may be too much for the local police to handle.
You're talking about the police chief over at the planet of rubbish heaps. He's really come up through the ranks, hasn't he?
Yes, sir. He's followed in my own footsteps.
Then we need to make sure this incident doesn't tarnish his record. Don't fail me, Chief Alita.
Yes, sir.
I wonder what it is that's made him come back around now. I'm sure Captain Herlock still considers himself to be the enduring rebel.
I'm sure.
I've brought in Kei Yuki, the space pirate.
Yes, the tomboy who chose to live her life running amok in space.
Who would think that someone like you, Chief Ilita, would resort to such cruel tactics? You used the lives of 500 refugees like they were just pawns in a game.
Those were inmates of this prison that we had dressed like refugees.
What did you say?
It was a mix of both felons and the mentally ill, sex offenders, rapists, and minors, lifetime criminals. All were ineligible for the death penalty for reasons beyond my control, but deserved death nonetheless.
I underestimated you, Ilita.
Yes, indeed you have. Now on to that man whom you care for. I believe that you'll be meeting up with him again very soon. I will execute all of you in one fell swoop.
Captain. Welcome back, Doctor. Since you two were so late getting back, I thought I'd come pick you up. Saki.
You know, Tadashi, I know that for the past few years I haven't been much of a father to you, that I've been consumed by my own research, but today Is this?
This is the University for Galactic Comprehension.
Galactic comprehension? That's the university that was created in virtual reality. What am I doing here?
The fact that you're here can only mean that the professor has passed away. Nice to meet you. My name is Shizuka Namino. I was your father's assistant.
The time has finally come for us to remove the seal and to rule space once again.
There are only a handful of select researchers that have been authorized to use this area, and Professor Daiba was one of them.
Here my father was known as a sole survivor of an expedition that killed a group of scientists. And when he suddenly began to research the history of demons and evil spirits, he was treated like he was some sort of oddball eccentric.
This is the professor's personal research room. At the university, when a user of one of these rooms passes away, we have a member of the surviving family pick up any articles the user may have left behind. Those are the members of the space research team that didn't survive.
Why did they?
The professor would always say that humans have expanded too far, and that humans are the germs responsible for all the turmoil that's found in space.
Have you heard of Nu?
I haven't.
While deciphering the characters and symbols found at the expedition site, my dad came across one name that couldn't be pronounced. It was the name of an old demon. The closest pronunciation is Nu.
Although I would ask, the professor refused to tell me anything that even remotely involved this aspect of his research.
I wonder why. My dad never would talk about his research with me either. The only reason I know about this is because I overheard him mumbling about it once. I guess for whatever reason, the name stuck in my head.
You don't have much time left. Please, select the things you would like and take them back with you.
I don't know. I have no idea what I'd even do with all this stuff. You can have it all.
No, sorry, that can't be done. You should at least take this. The professor had asked for this to be given to you. When you leave here, it will transform into a microchip.
bring back some memories. Whoever would have thought she'd be content to hide out in the middle of a garbage dump?
For whatever reason, the Arcadia took a liking to this place.
What's that sound?
It's the music of those that have been left behind.
Ruins from ancient civilizations are abandoned here. They are removed from their planets to allow for more humans. And this is where they resonate.
So the forest of rubble became a dumping ground created by the developers, just because they didn't want to let the unearthing of relics from ancient civilizations get in the way of their job. Humans never learn, no matter how much time passes.
Let's drink. It's time to celebrate our reunion with our old friend, Dr. Zero.
As you can see, the police are now entering into the Forest of Rubble. The outlaw that once had people trembling from one end of space to the other, Captain Herlock, is now just moments away from being arrested.
Wow, look, warp footage of the Earth. Ah, the memories.
Back when the human race had become fat and lazy, the only ones who were willing to venture out into space were a small group of outlaws. They all laughed at us. As we left, they told us the dream we were chasing no longer exists. One friend stayed behind. He held out hope for Earth till the very end. He worked himself into the ground trying to pave a path for their future.
His tireless efforts took a toll on his body, and eventually he contracted a fatal illness.
Halfway through achieving his dream, it shattered. And for what? Whose sake did he die for?
It wasn't long after that that people started getting off their lazy butts, and before you knew it, they had spread out into space following the path that we had paved for them. But they haven't changed. They're still after the same things. The people in politics, back then and today, are a pack of greedy pigs who think power answers everything.
Herlock, you look at Earth a lot more frequently these days.
Yeah, they're here. What do you want to do, Captain? Should we head out into space now? It doesn't look like those guys from last night are going to be showing up here after all.
One of them will.
Huh?
We'll wait till then.
Well, I'll take this and be off then.
Tadashi. The professor believed technology's role is to help people live a much happier and a more fulfilling life. And so, right up until the very end, the research he did was to help mankind. I think that the professor was trying to send out a warning. And
I gotcha. I'll see you around. Take care of yourself, okay?
I have now done everything that I was asked to do, but I am left with this odd feeling I cannot describe. Back in the 21st century, a mathematician claimed to have proven that it was impossible for artificial intelligence to feel any emotion. So then what is this pain I feel in my heart? I'm sure that as everything around me disappears, it will disappear too. The feelings I had for the professor will soon be erased. Was I able to affect him in some way? Did my existence have any meaning at all? Professor,
Look, Tadashi. That bright blue planet over there is Earth. That's where all of us humans come from.
that's my home.
Yes, and that's where your mother rests. What are you doing here?
Well, I was worried about you, Daiba. It seems the entire city is in a panic. They're going to try and capture Herlock. It's on TV.
It doesn't appear to be. This just in. We have an official statement from the police. We will send in our troops at 4 o'clock exactly. It's the Fata Morgana!
What does this mean?
Herlock!
It is Herlock! He's really here!
Herlock has just shown himself to the public. I have you surrounded. You aren't gonna escape this one. You're under arrest, Herlock.
I want to know one thing. Are you here because you're following the will of others? Or are you here on your own will?
You think that there's no way that I choose to come, right? It's true that there are people out there who still quiver just at the sound of your name. But we no longer live in an era where the majority of humans are all cowards. I'll have you know that I, for one, came here not because I was told to, but because I wanted to.
I see. Then you must have been prepared for the worst. This flag stands for freedom, and I live for what it stands for. No one will stop me from living life on my terms. If you're gonna fire, do it now. Friend, what troubles you?
I have just touched the gates that lead to hell.
Corpses came back to life?
Arcadia, let's go.